Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the FPL in the trenches. It is Scott and BeerMe, and we are in the trenches, and that's the most normal I've ever done that intro. It is the Frontline Prediction League. It is WrestleMania week, and we are here to run down the card. This is Frontline League on Twitter, the YouTube channel that you're watching. Subscribe, like, all that fun stuff. Follow BeerMe and I on Twitter. We're gonna go through this pretty quick and kind of knock this out with what's there, get the hype maxed out, a few details about some stuff, but I think we're gonna have some fun here looking at this one last time before the big showcase of the Immortals. BeerMe, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing pretty good. The Hall of Fame's about to be on, so Mania weekend's finally here. I'm hyped.
It's here, yeah. We're recording this, like, the actual WWE Hall of Fame just started, so admittedly we kind of want to get this done to be able to watch it, but it's on Peacock. We'll be able to watch later, and I've got a podcast to edit after this, but it's going to be a fun thing. It is Mania season. It's our first WrestleMania. BeerMe, you've main evented Mania back in the JRPL, and I've been in some high-profile stuff, but I also had a kind of whatever match the first year. It was just a random tag match, really, and I squashed Imperium, if I remember correctly. It's like, been there. You start small and you work your way up. I've had high-profile stuff ever since. You've had high-profile stuff pretty much from the start, though, right?
Yeah, I would say so. I think there was one Mania where I faced Cross, which is like in a qualifier. So, I mean, you could say that most of mine have been pretty high-profile.
It is an interesting thing because the JRPL started after WrestleMania specifically because they didn't want to start with the big show as the showcase because you don't know who fits where. That's kind of where we came in, where we started with WrestleMania in our forward thinking. We started with the Royal Rumble and immediately started building toward that, and the matches here now. Some we've had in mind in some ways all along as far as for the match that would happen, but maybe not who. And others were like, as soon as the Rumble was through, we started to see things fall into place in the character chat on the Discord. By all means, everybody following that. Things really start taking shape. We had most of this figured out a while back. Yeah, it's been fun. It's been interesting. It's wild to see the people who are stepping up. I say that like nobody isn't. Everybody's stepping up. Let's be honest. The turnout's been amazing for the house shows and the main shows. It's been fantastic. So it's just awesome to see who's kind of seizing the opportunities. Like Ralentendo's our favorite one to talk about, Beer. I mean, the fact that he talked his way basically into an opportunity which led to a title shot. And he's the co-main event at WrestleMania. That's pretty awesome, I think, for a title that you and I both are very familiar with.
Yeah, I really like it. Mm-hmm. You know, he came out of nowhere. Remember, he's like, "Well, I want an opportunity," and we're like, then all of a sudden the board was like, "All right, we'll give you one," and then it progressed from there. And it's, sometimes you just gotta ask.
And our thought process on that, like, if he failed it, okay, it's cool for trying, but you never know. But I'd much rather not look at someone and think, no, that you're beneath it when it's unknown. And that's a big part of how we've looked at things with booking and matchmaking and all that kind of stuff, because we're not going to ignore wins or successes just to make sure the story goes the way we want, because that's not fun for the people involved. It might involve some interesting things to still try to get there, but if you end up like we've got with our main event with Payne and Ash, but then below that, our co-main event is Cam and Ralentendo. You didn't expect one. The other kind of makes sense. You know what I mean? It's rather interesting to see how that can come through with surprises or whatnot, right? Like, it's kind of wild to see that come out. So, before we dive deep, though, into the WrestleMania card, we're going to talk about the specifics of how this is all working right now, and this time frame and all that stuff. So, what we're doing right now. This is in the trenches. This is the go home for WrestleMania. WrestleMania is our next show, obviously, which means we're not doing TakeOver. BeerMe, we mentioned that last week, if you recall. The specifics of that, we looked at it from many angles. I mentioned this last time, so we don't want to dwell on it too much. But it really came down to, we just didn't feel it would be right to do it based on the timing, based on the situation, based on everything else. It just wasn't feasible to do it when we were looking at it. Like, would we have all loved to have it? Sure, but it wouldn't work, really.
I feel like if it would have been one night, maybe that would have worked better. But
Yeah.
there's just no break. There's just no break.
No.
You know what I mean?
No. The big part of it really was the timing of it, because we went back and forth on like what shows do we do, and it's an old JRPL thing where it's based on what shows we do, the pay-per-views, the classic WWE pay-per-views, and the Impact ones, ROH, that stuff. But we don't do like the Impact Plus specials or the ROH super cards, not the Super Card of Honor, but the smaller shows. That's what they used to be called back in the old days anyway. The non-pay-per-view ones, Gateway to Honor is one of those, and things like that. Even WWE, Smackville, stuff like that. No, we're not. We don't do those. They're special shows, but they're not the pay-per-view. That said, takeovers are a little bit different, but we put them in that regard because they kind of classified in that. And we're looking at Impact Plus. You never know, but I can tell you right now, we're not doing Hardcore Justice on WrestleMania Saturday, right? Like, obviously, there's things, and even with NXT UK, we skipped a takeover way back when, but that was with the league kind of starting and stopping. So, in the JRPL, with this, we want to make sure everything's covered. We want to make sure everything makes sense, and we are setting a precedent with how we do it. But we are open to discussion, and we discuss takeover a lot because we didn't want to do it where it's like simply it's Impact Rebellion like last year, where it's just episodes. NXT New Year's Evil. It's just an episode that's themed. Well, we're not covering that, and that's kind of what Takeover was for half of it. But then it's all on peak, and it is a takeover. It's just on Wednesday instead of the episode. But how is that different from an episode? It became too much. We're like, no, you know what? No, we're not doing it because it became too late to make it work.
Well, plus they said like a week before, like I remember after you guys made the decision, then a few days later, they're like, oh, by the way, both nights will be on Peacock.
Yep.
You can watch them both on Peacock. So it's like, all right, you know,
that was kind of too late for us because that might have actually swayed things maybe, but by that point it was like, no, we're moving on. we need to move on with what we have. So that's where a lot of that came in. The same thing goes for WrestleMania WrestleMania SmackDown this week, where it's all themed with WrestleMania stuff, and there's even the Under the Giant Battle Royal is on SmackDown, and apparently a 4-way tag match for the SmackDown tag titles is going to be there. We're not predicting that. I'm calling it Night Zero, basically, but we're covering WrestleMania itself. This is an episode of SmackDown themed for WrestleMania, not covered. So that's just the semantics of it, and that's part of what Trenches is. We'll make sure you guys know what's what as we go. That said, it could change tomorrow when we have new decisions and we'll make an announcement. So like this isn't like an evergreen thing where what I've said is in stone. We try to make it that, to be fair. We talk a lot before I go on recording to say here's what's what, but yeah. That said, the WrestleMania picks page. It's going to go up on Thursday. Yes, that's before SmackDown. But that's mostly because we don't want to put the picks page up after 10 p.m. Eastern on Friday, and people don't even have 24 hours to put their picks in before the WrestleMania starts on Saturday, right? So
I got a question about that.
Obviously, I think I know what it's going to be. Go for it.
Since they added that gauntlet match, what happens if they add more teams and the pick page comes up? Are you guys going to put like an other, so that way we can put other, or is that match going to get thrown?
We might put other simply because it's a turmoil. It's a tag team turmoil, so those historically do have that. Same with when Impact does their battle royals and things like that. We might do that. I can't say for certain. You'll see when it goes up. But
Alrighty.
If we simply go with the 4 teams, and I'm going to explain this as we go because there's been some stuff already. If we go with the 4 teams, and that's what the pick page has. And before the deadline on Saturday, they change it. So they add that team, Carmel and Billy Kay, which was in the one graphic from the WrestleMania Twitter. They change it, or they take one out, or anything. If that changes, the match is just poof gone, and your points all adjust. So if you put 2 points on it, well, it's gone, and your 3-pointer's your 2-pointer, and it all descends down. I know there's already been talk like, should we just top lock that one in case it goes away? Well, here's why I say don't do that, or at least make your own decision, because what if it doesn't go away? What if that match is that match all the way up until bell time on the event, and then they say, no, there's a 5th match. Well, it's after the deadline, and they've changed it. Now it gets thrown out. Now we put your points to 0. So if you top lock that at 17 points, you just lose 17 points. So that you got to be careful with what you do or what you think, because the rumor is that they're going to add them on SmackDown, right? Well, what if it was supposed to be 5 and they took it away and now it's 4 and WrestleMania had an outdated thing and it's changed and they're not being added? This is the decisions you have to make and have to pick on it. I'll be honest, I wouldn't put high bets on this match anyway because it's 4 teams and I don't know who's going to win, right? So it's, yeah, and that goes back to stuff we talked about before with the Asuka Lacey Evans match and the Keith Lee situation. Those matches did not officially change until after our deadline. And at that point, they zero out. If they changed beforehand, cool. But we don't go by the dirt sheets. We don't go by the rumor stuff. I don't even mean that as a negative. We just don't go by that. We go by what's promoted on the TV show and on the Twitter and that kind of stuff. That's that part. The results are from like .com. But if SmackDown says it's Braun Strowman versus Shane McMahon at Fastlane, it's included when the picks page goes up. The next day, they run down the card and leave it out. Well, we're going to take it off, and no one's penalized because it's before the deadline. That's our thought process.
Well,
so,
hopefully, you guys will put other for that turmoil.
We might.
That would be great.
We might. That might actually be the compromise for everything in that sense, because honestly, turmoils usually do have more, and it's only 4 teams. Mm-hmm. Right, so
and we know Billy Kay is probably going to be with Carmella on that. Probably,
that is the image that was on the WrestleMania Twitter. Let's be honest. So it's very likely I can see it. But like I said, if you can go in top locking that because when it's descending, it makes it easier for us. Cool, thanks, but don't do that because they might not take that match away. And if you top lock that, and then on the kickoff show they say it's gone, you've just lost 17 points. Like, it's gone. You don't get 16 instead. It's just out. And if you're in a hardcore match or a ladder match, you can suffer because you get negatives and stuff like that. So please be mindful of this stuff. Take it into consideration. Use that kind of stuff, the betting odds for how you make your picks, but always go based on whatever they're announcing. And if for some reason, say we go to make the picks page on Thursday and they've stopped talking about that match entirely, they're not promoting it, it's not on the website, not on Twitter, anywhere, we're taking it off, and it's not going to be on the picks page, right? Bad Bunny, the tag match now. If that didn't change on Raw, it would have been Bad Bunny and The Miz. And then during the event when they changed it, match is thrown out. Like, it's got to keep that stuff in mind for where your confidence points are. And with a big show like this, there's going to be, 17, 18? There's like 7 matches each night. That's 14. I know math.
Yeah.
It's going to be nuts. so let's keep that all in mind, okay, everybody? We're going to explain it every time because it's the first time for everybody, but we want to make sure, like, for somebody, I mean, it is there. So we make these decisions based on what's happening in the moment, and we try to be as clear as we can with it and transparent and fair. If you made a decision based on something where it's obviously it's not happening, well, if they say it's happening, though, that's what we go on. So that, like I said, no takeover. Picks page is Thursday. Your deadline is Saturday. Remember, Manny is 2 days. Everybody, please remember that. And, yeah, I'll just say one last thing here to kind of make it quick. But if you're on WrestleMania, which everybody who puts picks in will be, you're about to see the card here. If you have ideas for your character for the intro or for stuff during the match, let us know. Because it's Mania. It's the time to do cool big stuff. I'm going to have some kind of fancy entrance for myself. I know that. We're going to try to figure out something, I'm sure, for War Games and whatnot and the main event and all this stuff. So we want to make it Mania-esque, right? And I think that's a fun way to do it. So let us know. We want you guys to have that input for your characters. We'll try stuff, too. Like, there's ideas that we've kind of thrown out there that you've latched onto, and it's awesome. So please let us know what works for you in that sense, or what you even don't want, because it works both ways. We don't want to do something that you don't like. So, but yeah, bear me, I think we're ready to go here. Let's look at the WrestleMania card and say who we think are going to win.
Alrighty.
Let's start with the kickoff, which is not on here yet because I've got a list of matches. So these people are going to find out right now who they're facing at WrestleMania. What do you say?
Let's do it.
Okay. We have CJ Hawk versus Cammy Cat. We have Skylar Cross versus Glorious Viper. Chef Urban versus the Alpha Dog. Clay Briggs versus Kurt Cult. Buckend 5 versus Killmonger 8, which I see what we did there. And Bane the Bissa versus Ace High.
All right.
Any stand out for you there? Any jumping out? I heard you go ooh to a couple of those.
I like the Hawk and Cammy Cat one. Just because Hawk's like put me on the pre-show. I just want to get it over with. And who did you say Alpha Dog was facing?
Alpha Dog is facing where is he? Chef Urban.
Ooh, I like that one too.
Mm-hmm.
Those are two big ones. Obviously Skylar Cross and Glorious Viper.
Yep.
Bay and the Bissa Ace High and Kurt Colton Clay Briggs. It's a pretty good kickoff show.
There's some good stuff in there.
Right there.
And of course, if your name's not mentioned and you put your picks in and you're debuting, you'll be on the kickoff too. We'll find a match or we'll do something, but this is the stuff confirmed as of right now. So now for the main card itself, BeerMe, we've got obviously the world title, but actually, you know what? Let's go in the reverse order. Let's work our way to the world title. How about that? Because we started with the kickoff.
Let's do it.
Let's go down here. We've got the 30-man battle royal, and yes, we've got the graphic now for the 30. It's a lot. There's a lot in there. And yeah, it's not man, it's superstar, but the font doesn't, whatever. That was a fun thing. If you guys watched War Room the other day, yesterday, it was going to be 20 people. And then we realized, actually, we're mimicking 30. It's supposed to be 30. So we made 30, which made it easier to get the people in. And here we are. But CT had planned for 20 in his graphics, so this kind of messed it up. But it looks great. I love the graphic there. Got Red and I together with you and GMSG and Eris. That's, could be better.
Mm-hmm.
But the winner of this, like we've said, the winner of this will go on to be part of the other half of SummerSlam for the world title situation. This isn't your ticket there; it's your on the way. So it is part of it. But I mean, you're in there, BeerMe. So am I. I mean, I'm going to pick myself. I came close. I came real close at the last Battle Royal at Evolution. You've won one of the WrestleMania Battle Royals, though, haven't you? So
I have.
I presume you're picking yourself?
I mean, I'm going to pick me too, but
yeah.
What if we had to pick somebody that wasn't ourselves? Like, if you had to pick somebody in the Battle Royal, who would you pick?
GMSG.
Ooh, that's pretty good. I mean, I'm going to go outside of my stable, though. I'm going to say Sebastian Escobar.
I thought you were going to say Bastion. I'm like, he's in your stable, but Sebastian Escobar.
No.
Okay.
Yep.
You think he's going to break the second? He's going to break the runner-up?
Imagine that. Like, he's going through all this stuff being number 2, and then he finally gets number 1 and goes on in the qualifier. That would be pretty dope.
That's cool.
I'm just thinking, story-wise, yeah, that would be cool.
That also potentially gets you the rematch you want to see with Payne and Escobar. If they both advance all the way through.
That's true.
That could be cool. That could be cool. Yeah, if I go outside of, like, the people I know, like my own group here, JJ Rocky's in this, and I'm gonna pick him because
Yeah, he's the man in the trench,
Yeah, we got you, dude. But next up, the second match on the card is Sebastian Escobar versus Smooth Rock.
Man,
it's the second match. I'm picking Escobar.
Man.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I'm like, Escobar.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm picking.
I don't know if that. Yeah, I don't know if that was a smooth move of Smooth Rock not really pronouncing his name right, so that might get under Escobar's skin a little bit. So I'm gonna go with Escobar as well. But hey, don't sleep on Smooth Rock.
Absolutely
he's
not.
Well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's gonna be. That's a good for a singles match opener. Basically, that's a good match. But next up, we've got Lexi Briggs and Spinx facing Wookie and CM Carlito. I'm going to go with the veterans on this one, with Wookie and Carlito. But we've said this a billion times before, BeerMe. Lexi and Spinx can take this one and make a name real quick.
Yeah, either way, I'm intrigued to see where this goes. I'm actually gonna pick Lexi Briggs and Spinx. I'm gonna go for a little bit of an upset. Yeah, it's
Spring Tigers, but it's cool to see her with a different character on there. But like she knows what she's doing, so yeah, I could see that definitely. Next up, LJ versus Mad Elite Titan. I'm picking LJ on that, but Titan is going to be a tough one to overcome. But I think LJ can do it. I have nothing to base on except for this.
Yeah,
right. But I got a feeling. That's all.
I got to go with LJ as well.
Yeah. It's the veteran thing. I usually go, that's true. but I usually pick the veterans in these situations. That's where this one comes up next. Death Money Inc. Kano, Mac, and the Arbiter versus The Reaction, Luke Gray and Tino. They're all relatively veterans. Yeah, the Death Money guys are doing new characters, but they've all been around. Tino, though, I mean, he lost at WrestleMania before. I think Reaction's probably got this, but Death Money has been... this is their time to win it, I think. So...
yeah, I'm gonna pick Death Money.
Okay. Next up, we've got another grudge match. Jonathan C.T. Martin versus Junction. I'm picking CT flat out. The slide jokes are one thing, but I'm picking CT to take this one. I think enough is enough, and he's going to make Junction pay.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to go with CT as well.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it. Yep.
Could you imagine though if Junction does win and ruins everything?
Yeah.
Next up, a sub match. RGX versus Rate Wrestle. This one goes back to the Rumble. A lot of these go back to the Rumble from the start, but this has been building for a while. The promo work has been awesome from both guys. I've loved that. Submission match probably favors Rate Wrestle, but it does give RGX that leverage to just do whatever he wants as well, right? Technically.
Yeah.
So I'm pulling for RGX. He's been on the downslide of things comparatively, but I think this is going to work in his favor, and he might take this one. Rate Wrestle, though, him in a submission match is going to be a problem. I know he put Red and I out, so...
it's in his wheelhouse, so, I mean...
Mm-hmm. As the former submission king, Bearme, who do you got?
Oh, man. I really like both guys. I'm going to pick Rate Wrestle.
Next. It's Red's birthday on WrestleMania, by the way. Red has an open challenge. I'm picking my girl to win it. Who you got?
I kind of got to pick Red here because I don't know who the opponent is. So
yeah,
we'll just go with that. I'll go with Red.
Yeah,
I'll go with Red.
Red's had some success with matches like this too, with mystery opponents. So I think Red will be fine on this one. Red's got this taken care of, and if not, I'll make sure of it. Next up, Full Moon Massacre Deathmatch. Lucian Hollis versus Broken Nerd. This is an interesting one because Nerd's the king of the cinematic matches, but this is definitely Hollis's match. So I want Nerd to overcome it, but I can kind of see Hollis taking it. I can see arguably an upset because it's Broken Nerd. But I can see it, but I don't think that'll be the end. Either way, honestly. I'm going to go on a limb and say Hollis.
I feel like the story is better if Hollis wins it, but Nerd just does what he does. He wins. So
he does.
Hollis could prove me wrong. He could prove me wrong, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I won't bet against him maybe in the future, but I'm going to go with Broken Nerd.
The known commodity, right? The veteran.
Yeah. Yep.
Next up, Eye for an Eye deathmatch. Jason Blades versus Kier 1. I didn't even mean that pun. I think Jace... Kier 1's been getting under his skin, but Jace has been very preoccupied. He's been on a roll, but he's been preoccupied, and I think that's going to be his undoing. If not for that, I think Jace takes it. It's going to be a war either way, but I think with all the faction warfare right now, Kier 1 is the least of his worries. I mean, he got blindsided during the brawl out of nowhere when Kier 1 showed up, so I kind of see that continuing here. What have you got?
Yeah, I feel like Kier 1's kind of got to get his revenge for all the stuff because he's on his revenge tour kind of right now. You know, he said he was going to go through everybody to get to Jace, and he's kind of got to Jace at this point. I'm gonna pick Kier 1, but I can see that going either way.
Yep,
somebody's losing an eye. I don't know. But...
yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I mean they get a rematch. They got 2 eyes each. Next up, it is the American Championship. This will now right here. We're trying again. Be the first title awarded decided, won in the FPL. It's the FPL American Championship, the Stars and Stripes strap. It is going to be a ladder match, rematching the two no contest co-winners, if you will, from last time, Alexander McKennedy and the Midnight Rider. I've said it a billion times, I'm picking Lee. This is his time. But I would love to see McKennedy with that belt. No joke. That looks cool. But I'm picking Lee. Sorry, Alex.
Yeah, everything you just said. Everything you just said.
Yep. If it wasn't Ryder, I'd be picking McKennedy. But I got Ryder.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, Ryder's is on another level right now. And I mean that compared to before because it was kind of stop-start. He's killing it. So I think that's it. I think he's got this. And a ladder match, he just won one of those. So this is going to be good for him. Next up, excuse me, I got to get this one right. War Games! Yeah, there we go. OVS, FBU, and the Simple Creatures. It's JJ, Rocky, Modstep, and Chappers. You three, the GMSG, BeerMeJesus, and Bastion versus OVS members. Forgive me, there's 5. I got to get it right. That is Roman Pierce, Angela Grace, and Casey Warden. So OVS has been running roughshod the entire time, and that is because of numbers, I feel. Those numbers are gone. It's War Games. The Creatures are always the one you don't want to bet against, and they took offense to this going on between OVS and FBU. But this is FBU's time to shine. I'm picking you guys, and I think you're the underdogs. Not gonna lie. I think you're gonna win it because that's what you guys do. I wouldn't be surprised though if the win went elsewhere. It's low confidence points basically is what I'm saying. What do you think, Jeremy? Are you picking your own self to win?
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna pick my own self to win, and I agree. I think we are definitely the underdogs. Everybody else has been doing really well of late. So,
well, you didn't you lost the advantage because that went to a no contest, and then those two fought over it, and it's OVS that has the advantage. Then Creatures, then you guys are last in that situation. So you're in that boat too. So. Mm-hmm. But I'm looking forward to that one. That's going to be insanity and chaos. Lots of fun. Followed by a no-holds-barred death match. This is a straightforward fight with Josh Dionio and Vitamin James Costner. I have been back and forth with Costner a lot, but I've probably had even harsher wars with JD. I'm picking JD, but Costner can take it. Anyone can. But what I mean is, he knows him well enough from the Team No Chance days back in years prior to know what to do here and how to take that. I really do think that JD's got it, though. It's an uphill battle for Costner. He can do it, but I'm going with JD on this one. Who have you got?
Man, before I say this, being in a death match with 14 matches, good luck.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with James Costner. He does not suck, and I think he's out to prove everybody that he does not suck. And let's see if he can live up to what he's saying. So, I'm gonna pick him.
That's a good reminder, Beerme, because in a death match like this, there are different rules and stipulations. It's in the Discord as well, but different matches have different rules like that. And in a death match like this, if you get a points wrong, you get negative on it. So. If there was Hell in a Cell, it's like double points and double negatives. So if James Costner puts 12 on Edge and Brian wins, well, he doesn't get those 12 points. He gets negative 12 points. That's a lot. So you almost want to say your most confident ones are in the middle to make sure you get them, and you almost gamble on the It's a whole system. It's careful. So these guys, this can go either way with 1 or 2 matches, and it's all out the window. So I'm looking forward to seeing what comes from that. The co-main event, like we said, the FPL Canadian Championship, Cam versus Ralentendo. I'm picking Cam, but Ralentendo, I kind of want to see that culmination of his give me a shot leading to him holding that belt at the end. I want that, but I'm picking Cam. And it's no offense, but I think Cam's got it. I think Cam's got his number is what it is. I think he's got that.
Ooh. I'm gonna go with Ralentendo. I'm done. I'm gonna be done doubting him. You know what? He wanted some respect. I'm gonna show it to him. I'm gonna pick him.
And you said that
to win it.
You said that you were done doubting him last time. I remember that. Yep.
So I'm gonna pick him.
And we have the main event, the FPL World Championship qualifier. Again, the winner of this will go on to be one half of the SummerSlam main event to determine the first ever FPL World Champion. It is Payne, the Royal Rumble winner, versus Ash, the Elimination Chamber winner. One will advance. I say that. I don't want to jinx it. There's so many matches. We better not have a tie. We'll figure that out if we get there. But the winner will advance to the world title. One of these men might be the first world champion. There could be, of course, the opponent dethroning them. And imagine going all that way from the Rumble or from the Chamber to make it to SummerSlam in August and you don't get the belt. That's heartbreaking. That's amazing. I like all that.
Yeah.
Payne has been on a massive slide. But Ash has the momentum. I think Payne might bring it back. It's, again, a case of winning when it matters, and I think Payne's got this. What do you think?
Man, this is tough. And because Ash is Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick Payne. I'm gonna do it too. I'll pick Payne.
Payne was one that, like you said, we saw that trajectory. We figured he was getting to the world title back in the GRPL days, and he continued that winning the Rumble. I really think that he's got potential here to really recapture what happened because he struck it when it mattered and then kind of floundered, let's be honest. If he does it again, I mean, technically he's only got to win 2 matches and he's in SummerSlam, Rumble and this. You could be 2-8 for all it matters, but you won those 2. So Ash, though, is a former world champion. That's a different story. That's a big task. This isn't surviving a Rumble. This isn't outlasting a bunch of others. This is one-on-one. It could be a coin flip, but I'm going to go with Payne. I think Payne is either going to fulfill that or come damn close. Obviously, like it's not going to be a blowout, is what I'm saying. Either way, but I'm picking Payne on this one. There is one more match I can announce. Mine. It's out there. I put the promo out there. I challenged Matt Zion 1-on-1. That match has been made official. It will be added to the card as well. I'm picking myself, obviously, but this match has history. This match goes back to the Rumble and beyond. It's not like a crazy love is hell in a cell. It's not a no-rope barbed wire death match. It's just 1-on-1, which is what I wanted. And I'm looking to prove a point. Who have you got on that? BeerMe? Matt?
I'm gonna pick you, but man, if you lost, I'd gotta see where your character would go with that. I don't know, but I wouldn't. But I'm gonna pick you. I'm gonna pick you to pick up the win. But
no joke. Part of me is like, I kind of want to lose. I mean, I don't. But the story, if I do, oh, it's great because I blame everything on him. Right or wrong, that's the character. The kayfabe side of things. So it's going to be a lot of fun, depending how that goes. I have breaking news, BeerMe, regarding one of the matches. We've got CJ Hawk and Cammy Cat.
Mm-hmm.
That is now a hardcore match.
Oh.
It's still on the kickoff, so it's not going to get much write-up. Kickoff matches are smaller. We're probably going to still do stuff. It's WrestleMania, but that has been determined. That's what I've got. Breaking news. Hello, everyone. Really quick. This is breaking news. This is on top of the other we even have there. Another match announced as we go. This is coming up. There might even be some more after this is recorded and goes live, but this one snuck in under the wire. We have Detrick Cyrus facing Rab. 2 guys looking to make a point of things. Rab coming off beating me, bastard. And Detrick Cyrus looking to make a name, coming back after stuff with the Rumble, a good showing there, and get back on track. So that's a big speed bump with Rab after making a big name and a big splash out of the gate. This is the grandest stage. I'm really looking forward to seeing what these guys can do. BeerMe's already gone. He doesn't know about it. But he'll find out when he watches this later, so he has no idea this happened. But another match, and more will come, so stay tuned. Are you looking forward to it, BeerMe? Of course you are. But what match most off are you looking forward to?
Besides my own, it's obviously the world title match. I want to see if Lee can win the title.
Yep, that's mine. I'll tell you right there.
I want to see if Nintendo can, win his. And I also I'm really interested in that no holds barred death match. I'll tell you right now.
The
kind of needs to do it.
The old Team No Chance explodes.
Yeah, I really like that. Hell, they're all good. I mean, like I said, everything feels like a big deal this year. So like it's
And I'm really proud of what we've been able to accomplish, having started January 31st with the Rumble as our first event, and here we are April 6th with this lineup. I'm pretty goddamn happy, considering some of these guys joined after that. Some joined after the Chamber in February. Like, some of this has been very recent, but I like it. I like what's happened here. I don't take any credit. It's been the booking team of the GMSG, who I can hate all I want in character, but, Jonathan C.T. Martin and Red, and myself, yes. But I've always been the type to be like, lean back and go, what about this? What about that? I don't really try to get my hands in the muck of it. But of course, it has to happen. And I'm really proud of what we've been able to accomplish and pull together. And I'm especially proud of all the people involved here that have come in here and knocked it out of the park with character stuff that's helped us influence matches and get things going. And just the participation has been great. So thank you for that. Thank you for liking and subscribing. Thank you for all that stuff. It's been awesome. And thank you, BeerMe, for doing the show. It's been always fun.
Always.
BeerMe's not part of the creative team, but he saved our ass a couple times very recently, so it's been really good. What have you liked about this, BeerMe? Not to be like, oh, compared to the old, but like to see where it's been already of February and March. Really, 2 active months plus a week. Now April 6th. What's your feelings on things going into WrestleMania?
It feels like it feels big time, It feels like I said, everything matters. Like, the whole card just feels like a big deal to me, and it's nice, and I can't wait. And I'm excited to see who wins and who loses and what comes out of this, because who knows what's going to come out of this.
Yeah.
But you guys got a lot of room to think about that, I guess. But,
well, we just saw some dates apparently getting confirmed. Nothing official from WWE. We'll probably find on the weekend, but we got Extreme Rules. We got Money in the Bank looking like May and June, so we might not even have something else in April, which is kind of a but there is Rebellion, April 25th, house show. So we'll see the first fallout there. Thankfully, no Supercard for Ring of Honor. Good Lord, that would have been nuts to throw in here too, wouldn't it? So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens from here. I hope I don't lose. By God, I hope I don't lose. But I kind of, the storyline would be great if I did. But we'll find out. We will be back next week, toward the end of the week, because the write-up is going to be a thing as we go. But again, the deadline for your picks is Saturday afternoon, 1 hour prior to kickoff, which I believe as of right now is somewhere at the 6 o'clock time frame Eastern. It might be 5:30, depending how they do their pre-show. It's going to be a weird situation here with this week. Your picks page goes up on Thursday. I don't know when, but it will be Thursday. Keep an eye out for that, and keep in mind the stuff I said. I'm not going to repeat it, but go back and watch it again on how it changes if matches change or get taken away before the deadline and after the deadline. It's all important stuff to keep in mind. So it's a bit of gambling of what you think and where you put your points. If you're not confident, keep it low. If you're in a death match, flip that. If you're in a submission match, do not put 1 point on your least confident match. BeerMe and I know that. We both know that very, very well. We got to get together on a submission match, BeerMe. It's been almost a year since we've had one, right?
Right, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Impact's coming up, but there might be some stuff happening there. We'll see what happens. We've got some stuff coming up. It's WrestleMania. It's the grandest stage of them all, and we're looking forward to it and beyond. Thank you, everybody, again for watching. BeerMe, any last words of advice for the Immortals who will be at the showcase of the Immortals?
Good luck to everybody this weekend.
Hear, hear. Good luck. Thank you, everybody, for checking this stuff out. Thank you for participating. We hope to do you proud at WrestleMania, and let's have some fun. And, of course, let's watch in the Discord and listen to all of us lose our goddamn minds on Saturday and Sunday. And at TakeOver Wednesday and Thursday, too. Why not? Let's go. So, thanks again, everybody. Have a good night.